Just because you go into aged care doesn't mean that life has to end. It doesn't. Life can actually get better. In my work environment and in my life, I need to be loved, I need to be supported, and I need to be enabled. So why is it any different for residents with dementia? Seeing how revealing and supportive and enabling Montessori could be, I was hooked. And with that passion, it was how to bring the staff along with me and how to bring the rest of the residents along with me.
I've been working in aged care for 30 years, went along to the training, thought, wow, this is amazing, and I don't know why we hadn't thought of it before. It's just such a perfect way of caring for people with dementia.
I knew that I wanted an organisation that focused on enhancing quality of life for the people that we worked with, to enable them to be independent and stay living in their community, which is where the majority of them want to be.
When a person is diagnosed with dementia, freedom of choice is often in jeopardy of becoming extinct, and decisions are often made on their behalf because it is assumed that they are no longer able to make decisions themselves. In a Montessori environment, we focus on the ability to give people true choice so that they are able to make those decisions for themselves. Maria Montessori left a very big legacy for the understanding of early childhood development. She thought it was important to make sure that the children had an active and meaningful role in the classroom, and she set up the environment to support the child. Although many of the techniques that we use in aged care were inspired by the work of Dr. Maria Montessori, there are definite differences between what we do with older people and what Dr. Montessori did with children and how she worked with children. It is about independence, meaningful engagement, high self-esteem, basically giving our elders a reason to get out of bed every day.
I have had Montessori training for children before. I have taken one of them, and I never thought that could be implemented on aged care. But coming to this facility and seeing how things work here, it's really amazing to see how something can be taken from one part of life and implemented in a very different way in another, and that makes so much sense. Yeah.
I've been in dementia units and I've never seen anything like this. It felt homely, it felt calm.
Pretty much all of the other aged care homes that I've either worked in or the one my grandmother is in is completely different to the way we do things here. The way we do things here sets us apart. My grandmother's home, I walk in, it's very cold, there's no residents around, there's nothing happening, there's no colour, there's no life.
I know a lot of people don't have choice in other facilities. I know that they don't know them, they don't know their name, they're known as a room number or a to assist.
Good job, you're doing great. Got it for you?
Thank you so much.
I came to visit my dad. You come in here and it's such a vibrant environment. He always just seems really happy and content. You'll come in one day and he might have been folding up the laundry, or he's setting the table, or the other day I came in and he was sitting there sorting out some cards. So you can see how it gives people some purpose in life and that they're actually living, not just existing, which was a lot of these places and one of our greatest fears.
Montessori means quality of life, means choice, it means independence, it means empowerment, it means giving people a purpose, a reason for living, and a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It's a way of working with people's strengths. What we've seen firsthand with Montessori is joy and a light in their eyes, because Montessori is a way to connect with things that have meaning for people.
We provide care that's personalised to every person that's here, so their emotional, cultural and spiritual, basically finding out about each person and providing the care that's best for each person that comes in here. The more you know about a person, the better care that you can provide to that person.
Taste that one. You taste one, I'll taste one.
In dementia, a person is losing rather than developing abilities. So the emphasis is on supporting the losses with the objective of maintaining or improving function.
One of the key principles of Montessori are activities that meet people's needs. Their needs to be able to, as long as possible, for them to be able to eat and enjoy a meal and manage that on their own. Activities that match the movement of bringing a spoon to the mouth, matching activities that enable me to continue to brush my hair myself, dress myself, go to the toilet, and activities are designed to continue those activities of daily living for as long as possible, building up someone's self-esteem and keeping them independent, and then watching the joy as they say, I did it and I did it myself.
Activities like washing the dishes, folding the clothes, so they're included in everything we do.
Sweeping the yard, setting the tables, filling the salts and peppers. Gardening, you know, a lot of people love gardening. The ladies will sew, so they'll sort out the buttons for me, they'll sort out the pasta, peel the vegetables. You know, it's endless. What do we do at home? Whatever we do at home, we can do here. Whatever that person wants to do.
We go in and we look for the strengths, not going in thinking of what they can't do. We're looking at what they can do, and we want to build on that.
It's a strength-based approach. Every person living with dementia, there might be some things that they've lost the ability to do, but there's so much if we look with the Montessori approach that they can still do.
We had a lady who regularly helps us make the beds on the floor, and she enjoys that. She's meticulous.
One thing that you notice when walking in here is we have a lot of signage, so whenever we want to have the resident interact with their space, we have signs everywhere telling them where everything is, so that there's not confusion about, you know, where they can find facilities or where they can do things independently.
Everything is set up so they don't fail. Okay, we don't want them to fail. If a person needs a sign, they get a sign. The environment needs to be simple and labelled.
The name badges, they're another thing that we use, which is great for residents.
It connects people. I've heard people at the meal tables talking to each other and introducing themselves because they can see each other's names.
The Montessori approach brings in task breakdowns, and it gives me the step-by-step of what I need to do. And cue cards. A person living with dementia no longer has the fact or the memory in here. We place it on the card so they can find it in the environment so they can manage their day. One of the key things with Montessori is that less reliance on psychotropic medications. As I see the need for those medications decrease, the more that Montessori approach is implemented.
I ask the doctors to write them up for love and kisses before I ask them to write them up for antipsychotics.
Yes. For people living with dementia, Montessori can definitely change lives. It can engage people in a way that they might not be engaged before.
I'd love a cup of tea. Attachment, commitment, community, belonging, it's all there.
And it actually changes the staff's whole perspective of the resident because they actually look at them much more deeply as people.
I guess the best thing about working at Elizabeth Lodge, I walk in the front door in the morning, I see residents, I see life, I see happening, and I get to be a part of that.
It does reduce the stress for the family because there's an actual program. They've got people there that are helping them with their loved person.
She just seems more aware of her surroundings and participates more.
Buddy's handing you one.
I just see families just are amazed at the changes that they see in the person. We have a lady that I'm caring for at the moment whose daughter said to me, I feel like I've got my mum back again.
It's the most just thing we can do for the people we care for. Whenever there's a problem, whenever there is some issue that's arisen, whenever there is some crisis, it's like, all right, everyone, we have to regroup and go back to our core Montessori values. And if we stick to that, then we felt on our path and we're not going to go wrong. You know, we've had successful accreditations, we make budget, we're always full, I have a huge waiting list, and I put all of those down to just being this Montessori home full of love, joy, kindness and welcome.
We just have to do it because that's the right thing to do, and there's no excuse for not doing it because it's absolutely possible and it's not even complicated.
Montessori really is good for everybody, not just residents with dementia.
I do what I do because I love it. I love to see a person coming alive. I love to see the change in them. I want to make their last chapter the best chapter. I want them to go out laughing. I want them to be alive, you know, not think that they're coming in here and everything stops. It just starts with Montessori.